Look around yourself. Every day we use various objects to fulfill our basic requirement or make our life easier. Those objects may be tangible or non-tangible, visible or non-visible. All those are called resources as they have utilities. Actually, resource means not any object or any material, but it means utility or usefulness of any material. Let's think about the Stone Age. Iron was not considered a resource in this age, as man was not able to use them at that age. We can't consider precious metal in Antarctica a resource till we utilize them. It may be in future. Anything that can fulfill the demand of human beings must be considered as a resource. Recently, one more factor was added with the definition of resource, and that is eco-friendly. Firstly, we have to remember that source of maximum resource is nature. Secondly, human is the key factor in the process of creation of resources. They transform material available in the environment into resources and use them. Geographically informed person must understand that a resource is a cultural concept. A resource is any physical material constituting part of earth that people need and value. A natural object become resources when humans value them. The uses and values of resources change from culture to culture and from time to time. Resources are specially distributed, varying in quantity and quality. Some resources are finite, while others can be replenished at varying rates. However, humans need to balance short-term rates of use against long-term availability to ensure a sustainable future. Resources can be categorized from various aspects as on the basis of origin, biotic and abiotic, on the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable, on the basis of ownership, individual, community, national and international, on the basis of status of development, potential, developed, stock and reserves. Conservation of resources. Most of the non-renewable resources are limited in nature. Natural resources come from nature and people cannot make natural resources. They collect it from nature and use them directly or after modification. Modern technological development has affected natural resources badly. Natural resources like coal and petroleum are depleting at a very fast rate. And once they are depleted, we will have to find out an alternative. Therefore, it is very necessary for us to act in a way that ensures the conservation of natural resources. We can take some measures to conserve our resources as using renewable energy. Recent years of climate change and global warming have pushed many scientists and researchers to look for ways to incorporate more green practices into our everyday lives. Using solar panels or wind energy can significantly reduce our reliance on natural gas and cut back on resource depletion over time. Recycling. Making new product requires the use of resources, but recycling helps reuse the material we already have. Find a center that accepts like plastic bottles, cardboard, or aluminum for recycling. Switch to paperless billing and buy recycled paper to limit the need for logging and deforestation. Using compost. Composting is a great way to convert your food scrap into useful materials for your home garden. Composting enriches your soil and reduces the need for watering by improving runoff, which reduces soil erosion. Composting also attracts beneficial organisms that cut down on the need for pesticides or harmful chemicals. By choosing reusable goods, use your own fabric grocery bags rather than plastic bags. Thrift shop. It can take over 600 gallons of water to make a single cotton t-shirt. By second-hand clothing, you can reduce the amount of reusable clothing that end up in landfills by extending its life cycle. Also, we can save fuel by walking or cycling for short distances. Avoid wastage of food. We must be aware of another concept regarding the conservation of resource is sustainable development. It means to utilize resources carefully so that beside meeting the requirement of the present, also take care of future generations. Actually, though our resources are depleting rapidly, we can stop using them. So, we have to utilize our resources in such a way that future generation can also use them. Sustainable development calls for concerted efforts towards building an inclusive, sustainable and resilient future for people and the planet. Three core elements of sustainable development are economic growth, social inclusion and environmental protection.